Hello guys, and welcome back to yet another benchmarking video. It's been quite a minute since I last did another benchmarking video, and I did showcase this PC on our social media pages. So for those who are not tuned into our social media pages, be sure to follow us there. There is gaming there as well. But this PC has a Ryzen 8700G processor, which is an 8-core 16-thread CPU. And then we have that 2 gigs of DDR5 RAM there. We also have it paired with the RTX 3060 12 gig. And overall, this PC will run you back about 150,000 Ken shillings. That is with the RX 600, but with the 3060, the 12 gig version, it's going to cost you around 160,000 Ken shillings. Now, this is one of our mid-range PCs, and I did not mention the SSD because the price does vary depending on the size of SSD you choose. And remember, these prices are not fixed, so if you might, for you, you might end up choosing a cheaper case or maybe some cheaper storage. So these prices usually just fluctuate depending on some of the components. But in this video, I'm going to be diving into how this mid-range PC performs in some modern gaming titles, and I'm going to be performing the test at a resolution of 1080p. So yeah, let's jump into the benchmark. Okay, so now we're in Forza Horizon 5, and these are the settings that I'm rocking. Pretty much the same settings that I did rock last time. Now, for the sake of the RX 600 and maintaining consistency, I'm not going to change any settings, so I'm just going to run the game as is with high settings. And I believe if everything is set to high and the game is able to run well, then obviously if you turn the settings down low, the game will obviously perform well. Now, ray tracing quality here is set to high as well, and I have no form of upscaling, and I don't think even Forza has any form of upscaling. But if you ask me, the 8700G is actually like, this CPU is ridiculous. I don't know what voodoo magic AMD has in their systems, but how do you explain a CPU drawing 40 watts and giving me this kind of performance? Like, the performance is good. As you can see, I'm averaging above 100, and even when I was at the festival site there, I was still getting quite a decent FPS. So I don't know what AMD is putting in these CPUs, but this is honestly, I'm not gonna lie, this is honestly impressive. The 8700G is performing as well, and I did not really expect it to perform this well. So pretty nice. So let me just roam around, just make sure that can give it all kinds of testing scenarios. But I'm just still baffled that AMD has gotten this good. I know it's impressive. Okay, so the thing is, I like to focus on power because in Kenya, power is kind of a concern for some of us. And you don't want a system to be drawing so much power. So I think averagely here I'm drawing like 160. So this means that I'm not going to be running such a high power bill at the end of the month. For here we have something we call tokens. So this PC won't, for the performance, won't like run you a lot of electricity tokens. It's a whole thing. So if you're watching this from a different country, maybe look into it, see what the tokens are. But I'm impressed that the 8700G is this good, paired with the 3060 is actually giving me some decent performance. Mind you, this is 1080p, and if I'm getting this in 1080p, I'm pretty sure that in 1440p, I'm still also going to get a frame rate that is decent. So yeah, overall I'm impressed. Count me as impressed by the 8700G in Forza Horizon 5. And yeah, so let's do some cruising around and see if I'm going to be able to stress this system. And as you can see, this is quite a demanding game. As you can see right here, I am staying above, or rather I'm staying around the 70-ish FPS mark. So yeah, it is not an easy game to run. So with my 1070 Ti back home, I'm running this game with a mix of medium and low. And yeah, also for once now I can see that the CPU is actually getting stress tested here. I mean, the Forza was not really like stressing the CPU as much, as I barely drew above 50 watts. But for now, as you can see, with this game, it seems that oh, what the hell? Okay, sorry for that. As you can see with this game, I am actually drawing a consistent 60 watts, and we do have full utilization of our GPU. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like this game is definitely hungry for more GPU. I don't know if it's like a VRAM thing or like a... Wait, how much is this game consuming in terms of VRAM? Only consuming 8 GB, so I'm definitely not hitting the VRAM limit here, but I think the RX 600 might end up struggling in this department here, in that, you know, I might actually hit, or rather utilize or use all of the 8 gigs of VRAM provided by the card. But overall, yeah, I'm liking the performance of the 8700G. Again, count me impressed, because this CPU is, I mean, for the amount of wattage, I guess I'm used to Intel CPUs a lot, so it's kind of ridiculous that these AMD CPUs are barely drawing so much wattage from the wall and still, you know, being able to give us such a decent performance. So yeah, it's actually quite impressive. So yeah, I don't think I have anything else to test here rather than probably, you know, move on to the next game. Also had some music here. What is that all about? Okay, so now I'm in Apex Legends, and pretty much these are the settings that I'm rocking. Now, I'm not going to turn everything up to the max because I want to keep it level with the RX 600. So yeah, everything is pretty much set to high, and I don't think there's anything that is set to very high. So yeah, but there was a fight here. There were some guys chasing me since I was AFK. But as you can see, this game is not hammering our CPU like Need for Speed Unbound was. I mean, it was barely hammering it, but definitely, yeah, definitely, the 8700G paired up with the RTX 3060 is doing the Lord's work, as they would call it. In that, I'm getting a steady 144 FPS, which for me, I would like to consider this very playable, because I mean, in FPS games, you want higher FPS, I guess. I don't know what I was saying there. I'm just trying to run. And I think I need to find a fight. I think that's like the true test here, because, you know, that's when things get intense, toasty. And I mean, for Apex, there's usually like a lot of things going on screen. So when like there's fighting, there's like abilities, smokes, explosions. So all that kind of craziness usually happens when you're in a fight. And if it's a good idea to swap to the... I don't know if it's a good idea to swap to this. But yeah, let me go find a fight. I'll probably cut to when I find a fight. Okay, so now I'm in a fight, and oh god, I'm getting lasered here. There was a guy who went here. Oh my god, what is that aim? Such terrible aim. Oh! but as you can see in Apex Legends, I mean, in the fight, it did dip there. Did dip. Did dip quite a bit for a bit there. But, dude, I forgot how sweaty this game is. I think I've reminded myself why I stopped playing Apex in the first place. So, yeah, this was the 8700G paired up with the RTX 3060 in Apex Legends. Okay, so we are in Resident Evil 4, the remake, and these are the graphical options that I'm rocking. So pretty much, mostly everything's set to high, with a few things here set to normal, which I believe is the medium preset. But yeah, well, let's just jump in and see what kind of performance we're going to get with the 8700G paired up with the RTX 3060 here. Now, definitely, if you remember my previous benchmarks, you do know that this game seems to favor AMD GPUs, and yeah, you're still seeing the same thing repeat here, in that we're not really getting that much FPS with the 3060, even though the 3060 has more VRAM. So, just to show you that sometimes VRAM isn't everything. So there's more to, this game. So other there's more to performance from a GPU other than the VRAM. But for the most part, I am staying above 60 FPS. And this game is not really CPU heavy. As you can see, I'm drawing less than 40 watts. So let's go inside and see if it's going to drop. But the 8700G is actually pretty nice. It's really just having a good time in this game. So yeah. Again, I think it's kind of a repeat of the previous benchmarks that I've done, in that, for the most part, inside I will get more FPS, since of course I am having to load less geometry, and when I'm outside I am staying around, or rather the frame rate was hovering around the 60 FPS mark. By the way, I do not have any kind of ray tracing turned on, because again, it's one of those things that degrades performance. But I mean, you also have the option to play with DLSS, but I don't want to play with DLSS since it's not going to be fair to the AMD GPU. So I just wanted to test the raster performance of the 3060. Yeah, I think for the most part, this game isn't that heavy on the CPU. If anything, it's more GPU bound than anything, but pretty decent looking game. So yeah, I think we're going to jump in to the next game. Okay, I'm in Cyberpunk 2077, a game notorious for being CPU bound. But as you can see, these are the settings that I'm rocking. Now, I don't like some of these things like film grain. I'm actually not even a big fan of film grain, so I'm just going to turn it off. I feel like that's reserved for movies and not video games. But I'm pretty much rocking everything set to high, and yeah, let's jump into the game and see what the kind of performance you're going to get. And again, I'm not rocking any kind of upscaling technology, DLSS, FSR, none of that. And again, I don't even have frame generation, and ray tracing obviously is turned off. But as I do a drive-through here, as you can see, I am staying above the 60 FPS mark, and my CPU usage here is pretty decent. Now, I don't have a gun, that's why I am driving through these guys. That is why I'm driving through these guys. Need a better gun. Okay, these guys don't have guns. Wait, this is the guy, eh? Okay, I thought he's going to pay me or something. Yeah, I don't have time for this. Sick car. That music is so loud. I thought I've turned it down. What? Oh, it's radio volume. Oh my god, that's what I was like. Oh, it's... Let me dip. Okay, that hurt. For a moment there, I did see I dip. Wait, what bike is this guy on? Because how quickly is he catching up to me there? So, as you can see, in these like highly densely populated areas, my FPS is dipping. So, I wouldn't necessarily say that high settings is... But I mean, for the most part, I am staying above 60 FPS, so, you know. But I feel like if I turned down a few things here and there, like motion blur, you know, some stuff that I don't really need to be high, like distant shadows, distant buildings. I feel like if I turned those down, then my FPS will probably be okay. But for the most part, the 8700G paired up with the 3060 is able to keep up with this game. And I mean, we all know that this game is very CPU bound. So the fact that I'm not even utilizing almost half of my CPU is a testament to how impressive the 8700G is. So I'm actually, and genuinely, I'm very surprised that the 8700G is this good. So yeah, again, if you're interested in purchasing this PC, you know where to find us, esgaming.co.ke. If you're located locally in our country, that is the 254 Kenya, be sure to visit us at Old Mutual Building along Kimathi Street, room 405 on the 4th floor. And you can purchase maybe the 8700G or the components in this PC, or even the PC itself, at our shop and even on the website. So yeah, I guess I'll catch you guys in the next video. Tell us what you think. Well, tell me what you think about the 8700G paired up with the 3060. Is it a CPU you would consider? And yeah, I'll be sure to find you in. Or rather, I'll be sure to get you. Meet you? Find you? I'll be sure to get you in the next video that I upload. So yeah, let's see. I think in the next video I'm going to be benchmarking the RX 6600. So let's see how the RX 600 will perform compared to the RTX 3060.